Hi, today we're on Route 66 in the city of Rolla, right here, right in the Ozarks of Missouri. Start here at the old Mule trading post. Little barn house with the mule on it. Historic Missouri, Route 66. Let's take a look at this building here. This guy's iconic here. It's called the Mule Trading Post and Tobacco Barn. It's on our frontage road here. It was opened by Frank Ebling, originally as a mule trading post back in 1946 out at Gray Summit. But Route 66, his store were bypassed by Interstate 44. He moved it up here to Rolla in 1957. This guy's pretty old building. It was sold a few times since 1966 and 1970s. Sold Texaco gasoline. I showed you the poles already. Then it closed in 2020. Now it's a little museum trading post here. Really cool stuff. It's a home-built motorcycle by the commissioner out here, Gary. That I'd like to show you, but it's closed right now. This is pretty tough. Up here is called the Smoker's Outlet. This is old hillbilly sign. Guy smoking a corncob pipe. There we go. So his hands, they rotate around in a circle, spin like a clock. So this guy wasn't always here. Mr. Hillbilly, he's part of what's called the Sterling Hillbilly Store out in Hooker, Missouri. This guy's made in 1981. He's 28 feet tall. His arms, they spin around, like I said. So now I'm on the north side of Interstate 44. And on the south side over there is a trading post. And all through those trees out there, that's where old Route 66 went through. Made a big 90-degree right-hand turn. That's called Deadman's Curve, right out there. Cuts over the highway today up to this road, RD 2020. And this is the actual Route 66 headed out this way. This road here was built about 8 years ago to help the trucks go straighter. So we're going to head up this road, 1926 alignment of Route 66, down into Rolla. So a little farther west, we're backtracking right now. It used to be the budget motel that burned down right out here. What you want to do here is if you're headed eastbound, you're going to make a right here on this street called Pine Street, or North Pine Street. And this road is called City 66. Coming down here, we're going to see some great historic places downtown. This is a college town out here, so we have what we call Fraternity Row. Okay, Sigma Chi. Right here. Here's our university buildings right out here. Hey, so you want to park down here at North Rolla Street and 8th Street. Little walking tour. We've got Murphy's here. Look at this beautiful paving pattern in the sidewalk. Look at that. It's all laid down and cut out like little bricks. That's great. And up here we have real bricks. Right here. Now we're on Pine Street. Our City 66 historic downtown Rolla welcomes you. This guy here, the Phelps County Bank, right at the corner of Pine and 8th. This used to be called the Edwin Long Hotel. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. This guy opened in 1931. He's built in this Renaissance Revival style. It's got these squared off edges on the sides. It's all flat. Look at that. It's got this beautiful parapet up there on the roof with the little trophy sort of decorations and all the edges. So today it's called the Phelps County Bank, established in 1963. The hotel had closed in 1971. But this guy here is still the largest building in all downtown. It's got these 4 floors, 3 at the top. You can obviously see with the windows, and this ground level here for the bank. All up and down here. Look at these beautiful red brick buildings. It's fantastic. City 66 little road here. Walk up and down for great restaurants and all sorts of goodies. We're going to head down a little more and show you something really cool. Here we have a little information plaque about our Edwin Long Hotel, or Hotel Edwin Long. In fact, it started as a central drugstore in 1885 and replaced with the hotel in 1931. It had 65 guest rooms in the office of the National Bank of Rolla. That's a really cool building. Got a Bruise 66. All sorts of cool stuff down here. Uptown Bridal and Florist. Antique shop. We got Red's Grill. Down here on 6th Street, we have an old log cabin courthouse. I'll show you. All these beautiful buildings here, all along our little Route 66 here. Coffee shop.
The Red Door Boutique.
It's called the Red Door Boutique. This rounded edge is kind of like art moderne. Is what they call it. Instead of having a squared off buildings, you round them, have more of a streamlined look to it. So get that architecture coming like 1930s or 40s, a little bit later than Art Deco. So this guy here is all squared off like this Renaissance style squared off pattern. Great architecture here. Here's our downtown Rolla mural at historic Pine Street in Old Route 66. This guy looks like a Osage guy doing a little hunting. French trapper here, looking for some beaver. There's a little ox train here moving out west. Of course, the train comes through. It's probably the Rock Railroad. And then finally, we got Route 66. Our old Fords and Chevys and Dodges and GM cars right here. Welcome to Rolla, Missouri. I love all the architecture here. So here we got these squared off windows along this side. Here we have a rounded big window. Out here, these are all windowed. Sometimes the parapets are squared off, like here, and sometimes they're a little more fancy with trim. It's called the Knoll Building. Out here, this brick one here, it's all squared off. So we all sorts of series of types of buildings here from early 1900s, late 1800s, and then more recently through, of course, 1930s and 40s. Just the beautiful designs here. Look at this guy here. We're going to head down 6th Street. We're going to check out the old Log Courthouse. Hey, as you walk through town, always look for these little landmark information exhibits. This is the old wooden Main Street Bridge. Look at that thing, a little ramshackle. Nobody knows how old this is, but it's here in 1862. But before that, who knows? Anyway, so during the first 50 years, the bridge was condemned many times. It was rebuilt at least 3 times by the Frisco team. And then despite all the bad press it got, this whole area served as a great meeting spot for the citizens of Rolla. It's called Rolla's Greatest Summer Resort. It's a great little setting here for concerts and venues. Then in 1997, the Burlington Northern proposed to remove it, but the city of Rolla said, hey, I want this bridge to stay because it's just a beautiful, iconic structure. Look at that guy. called the Old Wooden Bridge. Now down at 3rd Street we have the old courthouse, the new courthouse here. It's this beautiful residence, just gorgeous. But this here, you gotta come see this guy. It's called the Old Log Courthouse, also called the Dillon Log Home. This guy was built right around 1838. It's now the Phelps County Museum. Anyway, other records show it's built in 1857, so maybe as a small guy and then expanded later on. It's this one-story log cabin building. It's got a beautiful stone chimney here, and one over here. Take a look inside of our little museum here. It's all kind of closed up. But over here is our bridge, the old wooden bridge. I had to want to tear it down, but we saved it, 1997. And over here it's, I don't even know if it's very safe to walk across anymore. I don't think it is. I think we need a little work to do to repair this guy for our Route 66 Centennial coming up in 3 years. That'd be great to have this thing done. Here's the old railroad. I think it's a Burlington Northern now. Old wooden bridge and our beautiful 1800s log courthouse. We have one more building before we go back uptown. Right by the Phelps County Sheriff and Jail. Stone structure. This is the old Phelps County Jail. Built in 1860. This guy's on the National Register of Historic Places. Unbelievable. So he's built with stone, taken from a local quarry out here in Rolla. Let's get these beautiful iron windows. Can't get Jesse James out of that thing. I don't know. Let's check that out. Little Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. You couldn't get out of there either. It's gorgeous. Little plaque here. Phelps County Jail, 1860 to 1912, National Register of Historic Places. We're back on City 66. Got the Phelps County Bank, Hotel, Edwin Long. So one way here, up through town, but we're going to take a look at some of the cool stuff and then wrap around back to our car. We head out of town, we're going to go to the old Norman D. Motel at Bueller Park, right outside of town. This building here is the old Rolla Post Office on Pine Street. So it opened in 1915. Now it's the public library. On 11th Street, we have our downtown barber shop. Right here. On the left, we have the International Grocery. It's Aladdin's little coffee restaurant. Lots of Route 66 signs and paraphernalia. Little shop called Rolla Hobby. These cool trains and little decorations on here. This building is called the Hasselman Alumni Lodge. Right here. At 9th Street in North Rolla, right here, this is called the White USO Building, or the Bueller Building. The United Service Organization, USO, you know, Bob Hope, those guys. So the soldiers returning in World War II, we had thousands of them on recreation. It's a great opportunity here to get away from all the hustle and bustle and military life. Now right at the edge of town, it's the old Sunset Inn we're looking at. But over here is, it's called Bueller Park. Beautiful little park. And here is where City 66 and the main 66, they merge right here. This hotel there is one of our iconic Route 66 hotels. It used to be called the Norman, or the Old Normandy Motel. That's what I call it. Classic Route 66. Little double-decker, gabled roof, front little offset gable where the offices are. This is basically textbook Route 66 motel. Right here, they advertised as new, attractive, opposite a beautiful park, easy off and on from the interstate, air conditioned, color TV, phones, family units, and a cafe. Today it's called the Sunset Inn. It used to be called the Old Normandy Motel. But right out here in the parking lot, right out here, there was a big pool right here. Of course it's all filled in. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but you can sit out here and bathe in your pool right at the corner of our little 2 Route 66 intersection area. How about that? That's pretty cool. They're going to head out to the old Totem Pole trading post right outside of town. Whenever you visit Missouri, always eat at the Waffle House. Great grits and waffles and eggs and great price. Way up here, we have a cow. See that guy? A cow on a pole. Here we got an old abandoned sign. But around the roundabout here, Totem Pole Antiques and Moccasins. Fireworks. This little shop right here. So Totem Pole Antiques. So it's claimed to be the longest running Route 66 business in Missouri. So it originally opened in 1933 out in Newburgh. But Route 66 was expanded and rerouted and cut off the town. So the owner relocated up here to ROLLA. Then Interstate 44 came on and bypassed him, so he had to reroute here to his present location. In 1997, he brought all his little totem pole, really cool stuff. Anyway, look at this. It's out in Newburgh, in that area. You make these white oak baskets. It's like an original sign from Newburgh, it looks like. They got fireworks here. Beautiful little decorations and Route 66 stuff from when he kept moving his shop around. Look at this. So the gas station, I don't think it's open now. But we have these beautiful pumps. This pump island. Look at this here. Pump tower. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. This little Route 66 button. Top of this guy right here. This is fantastic. Missouri's oldest business, established in 1933, out in Newburgh. Hey, so along Route 66, a little farther west, here's Route 66. Up there was the Totem Pole store. It's not there anymore. Check out this here. It used to be called the Martin Springs store, built in the 1920s. Dairy farm, sold gasoline, had some rental cabins. The store's on the ground floor here with the hipped roof, wood 2-story frame building. This guy, that's called the little spring house. Little squatty stone-faced 1-story building with small windows, hipped out. See water flowing out of it. The water comes in here and it goes right down to Little Beaver Creek. Now you head down here and I'll show you some cool parts about Route 66. Hey, I'm going to show you something really cool on Route 66 that people don't really know about. So here's our original road. Up there was the Martin Springs store. This is all a gravel road. 1926. In 1931, they paved it. They put this little curb structure in. See this curb coming up here? Right around the turns. It was a kind of experimental idea called a half curb. Comes up here on the edge of the road. Kind of has a little half curb. And the idea was if a car starts to get in this turn here, it would naturally straighten out when it hit the curb. Kind of like a physical barrier to keep them from running off the roads. But the idea, of course, it didn't work. What happens is you don't have power steering or these fast-moving cars and your wheel gets up here. It actually flips the wheel. And your wheel locks over to the right and your car flips over. And it started having like tons and tons of crashes. And this thing probably caused more damage than it did good. Lots of rollovers. Accidents happen right on this roadway, right here where it turns over to the left. And you only find this curb structure in a couple little places in Missouri. Anyway, it's a little engineering mistake that caused a lot of damage. This car is flipped over on this little half curb. So down here, the road meanders and makes a really hard turn right over a bridge. It's called another Deadman's Curve. We'll look at that. So right here on Route 66, a little further down, this is called Martin Springs. We got Pingas here. This guy here is called the Old Hillside Tavern. It's an old speakeasy, 1920s. In the bottom area, that's the bar, illegal bar. Later on they added the top. People used to come here to get their booze. But right here, really sharp turn here. It's called Deadman's Corner. So Route 66 comes down here, people are barreling down, try to make this right-hand turn and boom, way out in the bushes and the trees. But most accidents happen coming this way, which is west to east, racing down here and just boom, going straight. There's a lot of deer here too, so people would hit the deer and wipe out. And crazy little turn here in the road called Deadman's Corner. There's a couple of these on Route 66. So it's a real sharp turn, narrow gravel road. In 1931 it's paved, of course, and it used to head over this bridge here, which is a super narrow bridge called the Little Beaver Creek Bridge. Take a look at it. So if you make it through Deadman's Curve right here, you got to go over the Beaver Creek Bridge. It was replaced in 2021, just 2 years ago, by this bridge here. It used to be a lot narrower, but look at it, it's widened out, but still pretty narrow. Oh, Beaver Creek Bridge here. Anyway, see, look here, big old wipeout. This guy here wiped out here, around Deadman's Corner, over the bridge. Insane. This place is pretty nice though. Well, there you go. That's the town of Rolla in the Ozarks out here in Missouri. And now we're headed over to the town called Doolittle, where all the streets are named after generals, like General Doolittle and his raid on Japan, Tokyo. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.